Time to talk women's basketball as we return to Ferris Sports Update, and joined now by the head coach of the Ferris State Bulldogs, Kendra Faustin. Coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, your team's had to battle some injuries and some adversity this season, but you certainly have to be happy with where your team's at right now, still very much in the playoff picture.
Yeah, certainly. I'm really proud of our resiliency. Injuries and adversity is, it's every season as well. I mean, there's always going to be adversity. There's always going to be injuries. We've had an ACL every year. So we're working through those and getting healthy. But what I'm most proud of is the growth that we've had over the last, 2 weeks or so, without some key players and having some folks step up. Riley Blair being one of those, and Kelsey Wyman and Lexi Bush playing like a senior, and Brian Benner and Adrian Anderson really adding to her game and doing some different things. So, a couple of players with Riley and Kelsey Wyman that weren't really in the rotation when we were full and healthy, and who are now and are really contributing at a really efficient level. So that's the good growth with those injuries. And as we get healthy, and add some pieces back, we get deeper and we can do some more things. And I think in the long run, it makes us better.
Obviously, this past weekend, kind of like the guys' team, nice to be back at home where you certainly shot the ball very well in the 2 games last weekend.
Yeah, we love playing in Wink. That's where we practice every single day. We challenge our players to shooting makes in a time, certain time, and we're used to that pressure, in our gym, and we draw on that, and certainly the atmosphere is unbelievable. We have, some familiar faces, lots of familiar faces in the stands, and to be able to play in front of the students, which was really nice as well.
As we go to some of the highlights, you mentioned that the students back on campus now, so able to draw some fans here over the 2 games in the weekend, and talk about your play here in Game 1 against Purdue Northwest.
Yeah, well, I think something in particular that we've really grown in is our ball movement. And I think that's helped our shooting percentage. We're getting higher quality shots. We're moving and spacing really, really well right now. We started off this game really aggressive on the defensive end, and it created some early offense for us. Obviously you could see Lexi Bush there, just shot the lights out, and really, as a senior, has really stepped up in the last 2 weeks. She's taken over at the point guard spot. She's really probably better for her to be at the 2, but we need her at the 1, so she stepped up and did that. I thought in both games, but particularly this game, we cleaned up some rebounding issues that we had, really battled that way on the boards and won the boards. And then we had a positive assist-to-turnover ratio. In my opinion, too many turnovers, but it's still positive assist-to-turnover ratio.
Had a 13-point halftime lead, and obviously in this game you got some big contributions. You mentioned from Lexi Bush. Riley Blair had a great game for you with a double-double, and Brian Benner really came on with 8 block shots to go along with some nice point rebounding totals. Yeah,
absolutely. I think Bray was two blocks shy of a triple-double. She's really just coming into her own, and she gets better every game. We've been battling foul trouble and working on contesting and altering shots without fouling. I thought in this game she did that particularly well. We can't afford to have her in foul trouble, and so she has to be, super disciplined.
94-78, the final scores. You get the win to open the weekend. Always nice to win that opening game of a weekend, and really give you some confidence going into the Saturday game.
Yeah, certainly. Going into Saturday, we haven't played Wisconsin Parkside a ton. Obviously new to the league. We played them last year. They had a couple kids redshirting and getting ready in preparation for this season. And, they're really talented. They're athletic. They're deep. They play all guards, and they'll throw their post-kid in every once in a while, but she doesn't play major minutes. So we were, figuring out how we were going to use Brian on the offensive end as an advantage and have it not be at a disadvantage on the defensive end. And we asked her to do a lot of special things, and she did. I mean, early on, Kelsey gets those inside-out threes. We're moving the ball really well. Their defense gave us a little issue because they switch everything, and so we really had to stay active and keep moving the ball. And our spacing and our pace were really important, and I thought we executed that well.
Common theme in both of these games. You had a quick start and able to get off to an early lead, and that really helped set the tone for the day.
It does set the tone for us, and is really important. I don't know, in the past we just haven't started well, and that's been really one of our emphasis. It's also why we press. It gets us aggressive and engaged. We don't have a choice. If we're not on point and aggressive, we give up layups. And so it gets everyone engaged in what's going on.
Had a 38-21 halftime lead, and then here in the second half, they were able to cut into your lead a little bit, but credit your kids for the way they were resilient and able to pull it out here at the end.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy the third quarter. It was a little too much for me. But this right here started us to get going on the defensive end. Once we cleaned up some defensive rebounding, and we could pressure a little bit more. We got a couple steals in a row, and that's when we sort of went on our run. You know, and then the fourth quarter, we made free throws down the stretch. I mean, I think that was the big story, is that, you know, Lexi Bush goes 10 for 10 from the free throw line, and A knocked a big one in, and they started fouling with about a minute and a half left, and we took care of business.
Riley Blair, another double-double here with 20 points, 12 rebounds. How critical has her play been with some kids out of the lineup?
So Riley is, she scores in all sorts of ways. She is a dynamic scorer. She can shoot it, she can go off the bounce, she can post up, she offensive rebounds really well. So she creates a matchup problem. You know, you guard her with a guard, she can go post. You guard her with a post, she's going to go out to the perimeter. She moves really well without the ball. And she, you know, we asked her to pick up a big slack on the defensive rebounding end, and she certainly did that this weekend. And, you know, she works so hard and, you know, has really battled through a lot of injuries in her career. And, you know, I'm just really happy for her, for us, proud of her, you know, that she can get to this point. Early in the season, you know, she wasn't at the point. She wasn't performing like she is right now. And she battled through that and stayed in the gym and kept working. And, you know, I think that's an illustration of who she is and who we are as a group.
Obviously, this weekend you complete a 3-game homestand, taking on Lake Superior on Saturday. What do you know about the Lakers? Obviously, some close personal ties. Being a former Laker, taking them on this Saturday.
Certainly, I met my co-captain at Lake State, so you know, an alma mater game. It's always important. You know, I think it's become a little bit of a rivalry. You know, maybe started in men's basketball and now, you know, in women's basketball over the last couple of years. It doesn't matter what records are. You know, they're really well coached. They shoot the ball really well. They take a lot of threes. You know, it doesn't matter who we're playing any given night in this league. Lots of good coaches, lots of good players and teams, and you know, you got to be ready to play every night.
What's it going to take for your team here over the next month or so left in the regular season to really make a push in terms of some of the playoff seeding and scenarios coming down to the end of the year?
Certainly, I think, you know, getting healthy and getting our point guard and Renee back will make a big difference for us, and in particular our rotations and our pace and being able to press more and do some different things defensively and offensively. That's a big one. We have to continue to rebound, and when we play bigger teams, you know, size-wise, you know, we need to make sure that we're cleaning up the boards, and really, you know, that's discipline and desire. And, you know, we have those two things, so we're going to make sure that we got to keep cleaning up the boards, but pace and space for us, pace, space, and pressure. I mean, that's what we do, and so we're gonna lean on those things, our staples, as we go down the stretch, and you know, hopefully stay healthy, and if not, we'll deal with it and we'll figure it out.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the 2 wins, and best of luck Saturday as you host Lake Superior.
Thanks, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.